So I just automated everything in our Sunday Overflow space. It will play music, it will play the stream from over in the other building, it will switch back and forth between the two, it will do it for both services even though we only live stream one, and it does all of this without anybody touching it. I'm going to show you how I did that using Companion, an OC Ghost Stream deck, and some fancy commands over the internet. So the problem was we have this auditorium space, right? And on Sunday mornings, we don't really use it because we actually meet right next door in a theater. So we actually use this for kind of overflow space or space for new moms or anyone with babies, whatever. A place where people can watch the live stream without having to actually be in the room across the way. We also use it for hangout before, after, between services on a Sunday morning. So pretty straightforward. That means that before and after services, we want to be playing music in here and have kind of a scrolling video on the screen. But then during services, we want to play the live stream. Or I should say during the 9 a.m. service, we play the live stream. During the 10:45 a.m. service, which we don't live stream or record, we actually just want to play the recording of the live stream. It's good enough for us. It's the same service, so it doesn't really make that much of a difference if we're playing a recording. It still gives people the option to come in here and watch if they need to step out for some reason. And because we're actually meeting in a different building, even though it's right next door, it means we couldn't really send a feed directly from that building into here. We can't really have permanent cable runs there, so it was kind of a bit of a challenge. It's also a few hundred feet, so even if we could have a permanent cable run, it would be a whole thing. So what we used to do was we have this little video switcher over here, and we actually have just a little Chromecast Google TV thing plugged in there, and we would just pull up YouTube on that thing, and we would stream our service in here directly. And then at 10:45, we would replay it from YouTube. Now, this worked, but as you can imagine, had a couple different problems. One, sometimes our internet went out. And by sometimes, I mean that happened like twice, but it was super annoying because it meant we can't have the stream in here, even though it's like literally happening right there, which is really frustrating. But two, it required somebody to come in here and actually do that manually. It was super annoying. We were always like, who's going to do this? Who's going to do this? And we never really had a set person who was doing it, and it was right before service started, and it was just not amazing. Not only that, but then when it was over, they actually had to come back in and change things so that Spotify was back running, playing music in here, and our little pre-service show was playing in here. So I decided to try to automate this using a combination of tools. So I'll talk through kind of my thought process here and what we actually did to solve it. So the 9 a.m. service is actually really easy, right? If we can get the video feed in here, I can use Companion to actually automate this by just saying, hey, switch the switcher over to that feed and adjust the levels on our mixer to bring down Spotify and bring up what's coming from our video switcher. The problem came in that we also wanted to stream the 10:45. How do we do that? Well, the OC Ghost Stream deck has the ability to record to a hard drive. Okay, most switchers have that. Like, what's the big deal? The big deal is it also allows you to use that recording as an aux input to the switcher. So that means I can record the 9 a.m. and then play back that recording at the 10:45 a.m. You tracking with me? And I can control all of that from Companion to actually kick off those different actions. The problem is the Soundcraft SI Impact, which is our nice soundboard here, doesn't actually have a Companion module. So what do we do about that? Well, we actually installed Mixing Station on our Companion PC that's sitting here in the booth, and we installed the SI Soundcraft, whatever, module for it. We paid $5 for it. And so you can actually control a board now from Mixing Station running on this computer. Well, Companion has a Mixing Station module that you can then use to control Mixing Station, which is then controlling our board. It's not super clean. It's a little bit messy to actually do that. You actually have to refer to everything just by their channel numbers. And so we have a nice spreadsheet that shows exactly what channel goes where. And then you have to set certain values and stuff. It's kind of gross, honestly, if you're looking at it. But as long as you have things organized and you do it the right way, it's still just as powerful, I think, as controlling the board directly. We can control the soundboard, so we can pull our channels up and down as we need them. We can control our switcher to actually start that recording at the 9 a.m. as well as switching to that input. And then at the 10:45, we play it back. But there were two problems now. One, how do we actually get the feed in here? Because we can't just have the feed coming off of the Google Chromecast anymore, because how do we start that video? It's pretty tough. But two, once we get the feed in here, how do we actually trigger these things to happen? I mean, if we don't actually end up starting our service right on time, we don't really want to code over to an input that's maybe not live for some reason and have no control over these things happening. So for the first part, getting the video feed over here, we actually started utilizing the Axoon Cinemaster View, Axoon's wireless transmitter that I tested out a few months back. We don't use it in our services because I found that it had a little bit too much latency for my personal preference on our cameras, but that couple milliseconds latency doesn't really matter if I'm streaming it from the building next door. The signal is great, the range is great, so we literally just set that up right outside of our room, and then we actually have the receiver right there, and a cable running down over to our Ghost Stream. And so now on a Sunday morning, we actually get a feed directly from that building without having to run a long cable over here. All right, so we've got the feed here, but how do we actually kick off these actions and make sure that when it's happening, our live stream is actually live, right? Because again, we don't always start exactly at 9 a.m. Well, this part's tricky, right? I want to trigger that companion button to be clicked, but I want to do it from a different network, because when we're in the other building, we're on a different network, right? And that's a little bit tricky to do, but there is actually an HTTP module inside of Companion that allows you to send HTTP requests to Companion. And then in your Companion settings, if you have HTTP API turned on, it can actually then receive those requests and do things such as press a button or, do all sorts of things. Realistically, all I need to do is press a button. So that's great. But now I'm having to expose this to the internet, and that's obviously terrible. Okay, if you're here, do not do that. Do not expose your Companion to the World Wide Web, all right? Bad things will happen. No matter how secure you think you are, it will happen. So how do I solve this? Well, we use Ubiquiti stuff for our network. We've got a unified network set up, and they have a VPN that you can actually set up and log into from other computers, which essentially then makes your computer on that same network. And you can actually set it so that only the traffic that's supposed to be inter-network is actually routed through that VPN, which means you don't even lose speeds if you're doing things on the rest of your network. So I have that VPN client installed on the PC that runs our Companion in the other building that we switch from. And then whenever I start the stream from there, it's saying, hey, the service is starting here, it pushes a button over on this side, this button right here, start 9 o'clock stream, which makes sure to set the mains volume. It turns down Spotify. It sets the volume for our video at the right level. It starts a recording on the Ghost Stream, and then it switches to that input, which is our live stream, coming directly from over there into here via the Axune wireless transmitter. So all of that happens, and then voila, our live stream is playing on that big screen. Then, how do we know when it ends? Same thing. I hit a button when the live stream is over. Same button I'll hit to actually close things out on the YouTube side of things. That's going to trigger this end stream button press, which will do a couple of things. One, it will turn our walk-in music back up by clicking that button. Then it will turn down the volume from our video, and it will, on our switcher, switch back to the input showing just kind of our ambient slides. Not only that, it'll also stop the recording. Okay, so now it's 10:15, our service is over, and all of a sudden, music is back up in here, and it's a great vibe. And we have a recording of the exact length of our service. So now, at 10:45, we've got a trigger set up at 10:45 that runs, and it clicks the Start 10:45 Stream button, which, you guessed it, does almost the exact same stuff as that 9 a.m. stream, except instead of playing input 4, which is our Axune receiver, we actually just play the aux source, which is our SSD with the recording from the 9 a.m. service. And that kicks off right at 10:45, right on time. Because that one doesn't necessarily have to be in sync. We know when our stream started, so we know we're good to play it whenever we need to. Now, this is where it gets a little bit tricky, because when the 10:45 service ends, we don't actually have anybody triggering that. When the video ends on the Ghost Stream, it does actually change to whatever is the next previewed source. So as long as our slides are the next previewed source, which they will be because that's what we kind of cut over from, it'll transition nicely to that. The only thing that won't happen is our music won't start playing in the lobby, but usually there's somebody in here and they can kind of turn that up. I'm still kind of working on that to see if there's a way to kind of pull the Ghost Stream to know like, hey, is this video still going? And then play the music. Write down in the comments if you have a good way for me to do that. But regardless, that's kind of fine. I'm not too worried about that. So now we don't have to have anybody in here to actually start our live stream or start our music. Our music starts all on its own and make all these transitions happen right at the right time and know exactly where they need to set the levels on the soundboard. And we don't have 1,000 people messing with this and changing where these are set. Instead, everything just happens automatically and happens at the right level, at the right time, and in the right place. It's been awesome for a couple of weeks, and I'm excited for this to continue being used in the future. One weird thing we did run into is just making sure that in Companion, any kind of trigger doesn't trigger a press of a button, but it triggers a press and release of that button. So this is kind of a weird thing where if you just do a press, the button thinks it's still held down. So then if you try to trigger another one later, it actually won't do anything. And so this bit us in the butt 1 week, but since then we fixed it and we did a trigger, press, and release, and now it's working. And all of you watching this probably already know that, and you're like, Josh, why would you do such a dumb thing? That's so obvious. But, you know, we all do it. So here we are. Other than that, it's been great, honestly. Having these different pieces working together in this kind of unique way, at least in my opinion, has been super cool and has allowed us to just take a breather and not be so stressed out about what's happening on Sunday morning in this space and just perform our jobs in the places that we are. I hope you guys learned something from this video, whether it's, hey, the OC Ghost Stream can record and play back all at once, or hey, you can send companion commands over the internet as long as you have a VPN and can do it safely. Or, hey, you can control your soundboard through Mixing Station via Companion. Like, there's so many little pieces to this that I feel like are kind of edge cases on how to do these different things that if we hadn't figured out every single piece of it, it was going to be kind of tricky. But now that we have, like, I mean, it's great, and I'm so happy about it. And anyway, thought I would share that with you guys. Until next time.